All right, so let's just keep an eye out there. I just had to get everything else going here. Now we can go ahead and actually get started. So far, my main watch today is going to be off of this INTS. I like it a lot if it can just set up for us. And it did set up over a VWAP earlier. I'm really surprised it didn't end up going. It found a heavy buyer there off of VWAP. I thought for sure it was going to curl back up to the highs and didn't get that follow through, which is really, really surprising on a name with this much volume today. Being a clear sky setup as well. I'm surprised it didn't break up through 15 up to the 20 or maybe even higher, right? So whenever those opportunities are there, you just have to put it all on the table and accept whatever the outcome is. SOAR, I don't really like for today. I was looking at it earlier this morning. You don't really have a lot of range here. And I look back at it again, but I didn't like how it looked earlier because you've got that 9 and 10 right overhead. We've already tested the 200 up at 1070 this morning. So it's pretty much already tested its range and found sellers off of the top of its range. So that being said, I don't really like it for tomorrow or for today. I don't really like it for today. So I would probably leave SOAR alone. The only way you can really look to play would be off of maybe a 770. If buyers do find it down here off of 770, you can always look for the curl back up to VWAP to like 880. You have 889 and then 10 on SOAR, but for me, I don't really like it enough, especially to play it on a Friday. I don't have enough conviction in this to play it. But INTS is one that I do want to have primary focus on. The INTS is a main watch for me into open. I don't care for SOAR. INTS I do want to be watching. I don't think we really had any other. I know we had Roblox to watch as well. So we have Roblox to watch over the 4190. INTS we just want to simply watch. I'm not sure how we want to play that yet, but if we find buyers and can somehow find a base on this to risk, then we've got the range to the psych levels. Got the range up to the 15, then 20, and then so on. Already up more than 140% today, 150% now. But in my opinion, it's got what it takes to really be the big runner today. So, we did have that small loss on it a few minutes ago whenever we were trying to play it for the curl back off VWAP. Couldn't get it going. So we are going to have to watch that again a little bit later. But it should be a good day today as long as nobody gets trapped on MLGO or gets trapped on any of these China names trying to play a bounce like GDHG or WBUI. A lot of those are going to find new lows today. A lot of those are going to find new lows today, and the thing is, a lot of people are going to buy them today thinking that it's a great bounce opportunity, which those bounces, like on MLGO, have already happened, right? I don't think that there's going to be much more of a bounce on either of those names, and I'm pretty sure you're going to see a lot of people into the weekend screaming, screaming, screaming because they're bag holding these China names into the weekend. It's not going to be too good of a look there. So definitely keep your eye on those. Probably get some entertainment watching them dump today. Always funny seeing those Chinas just get dumped and dumped and dumped. So we've got INTS VRME is basing here or trying to right below VWAP. And if we can get over VWAP, you don't have a horrible look. I wouldn't really play it over or under. I mean, a 160, over 160 on the daily. Do we have range though on VRME? No, we already popped up into the upper twos today, but over 160 of range. You actually do. Over 160, you've got range to about 180. And over 180, you've of course got the room up to about, what, 220? Get like 2 and 220, like levels. Might actually watch VRME over 160 today. They had the share repurchase news in pre-market. I want to watch VRME over 160. I want to watch INTS to see when it eventually finds a base here for that leg back up to the previous high or back to at least reclaim VWAP later today. As long as it holds over that all-time high, which I think is sitting at like, what, 675? Let me double check that real quick. Then it's a nice look. Yeah, 675 is the all-time high. Let me check the hourly too. There might be some hidden price action that I'm not seeing on the daily. No. Okay, so 675 is the actual high here. No extended hours movement. So let's look. I'm watching this. As long as it holds over 675, I do want to watch it. Especially if we open somewhere around 8 or so, you can probably honestly play it for a pop at the open. It's one that I do want to watch heavily into open. So we've got VRME we want to watch. Let me get the news up here from the pre-market watch list. Hold on one sec. The VRME we do have news on. Share repurchase news. Let me get this plan posted on the pre-market watch list. It should be a green day today. Once we do find a nice entry on INTS. When we find a good entry on INTS, if it does set up for us. Of course, we've got VRME. Let me get that one posted. Worth watching for entry if buyers find it heavy over the 60s range. Pretty simple plan on VRME. Looking for the break over the past high over 1.6. Got that range all the way up to not necessarily the pre-market high at like 240, but I'd honestly look for maybe 2. Might be able to get a 2 out of it. Might just be able to get a 2 out of it. Okay. VRME is posted. Roblox we want to watch over 41.90. Got range here 243. 43.50. Obviously can't play Roblox yet. Not enough volume on it, but big watch for me out of open. Okay. We've got those posted, ready to rip. What else do we have here? Obviously, INTS we want to be looking at. Although I needed to form a bit more of a base before we can play that on INTS. Heavy buyers starting to come back in over on INTS. So it needs to form a nice defined level of risk, which right now looks to be off of like an 895. My biggest issue now, though, is that it's finding its way back up into supply overhead between this kind of 10.9, 10.3, and what is it, 10.3 to 9.6. I wouldn't be looking for entry here. Because you don't have quite a lot of range, at least not yet. Yeah, you've got this 10-3 to about 9-6, 9-7 that's going to find sellers here. Could watch it off of that 880 to 840 area, down to about 830. I'd watch this off of pullbacks below like an 880 if we can. Risking the 830 for the curl back up to VWAP, which is currently sitting right up at 1095, 1086 now. It's going to find sellers over 970. If it doesn't, then we can look to play it over VWAP. And on the nightly watch list, we've got, let me pull that up here. Got WBA to watch today. Let me get all of these pulled up. Got WBA to watch off pullbacks as well, off the 2220. We've got GME to watch today, off pullbacks as well, off of the 14.7s. We've got Chewy to watch today over the high, if it does decide to break up to the high of 1937. Got a nice look on Chewy as well. And Chewy was the big one from yesterday we were watching from the pre-market watch list. Here's those sellers coming in on INTS below that 1030 that I mentioned a couple of minutes ago. And that's why I want to watch for pullbacks to see if it wants to base off that 830. If it can base off the 830 off that 50 EMA, got room back up to, again, that 9.7 and 1030. If it can get up through that, then got range to about VWAP, and then you've got range overhead to the 12, 13, and then 15, and so on. I'd like to keep on watching this today and see if there's a way that we can play it. Right now we've got GameStop, Walgreens, Chewy, INTS, VRME, Roblox. That's about the gist of it for now. Just 6 setups that I'm looking at. Aggressive sellers coming out of that 9.7 to 10.3 zone overhead. Like we mentioned, we warned of that. It was no surprise. If it does try and base down here, not a bad look for an entry, but you have to give it time to set up. Give it time to set up. If we don't like it again, then we won't play it, but sit back, wait for it to set up. Okay, so we've got this to watch. We've got VRME to watch. VRME is a good look. It's like the only real small cap we have today. That float on VRME, tiny, tiny. Market cap is 10 mil. I'm going to keep on watching INTS to see if it wants to continue to base off the 8.3s. Curl up with the 50 right below price on the 1. Got about 24 minutes until the open. We already have every setup planned for. We've got 6 setups ready to go. All of them look pretty good. The waiting game. By adhering to those plans today, we should be able to stay much more focused, much more laid back today, especially with a Friday. Be a good day. I'm just going to stay super, super picky, stick to our plans that we've got. You know, trade our Roblox, trade our Chewy, trade our GameStop, our Walgreens. Not so many small cap movers today. Not surprisingly, after lower week. Price soar is still basing here over that 7.7 we talked about. On hardly any volume. Watching to see if this INTS wants to set up. Name of the game today is going to be patience, just waiting for things to set up. Like Chewy yesterday, kind of botched the trade on it after I opened yesterday because, like I said, I got distracted and I wasn't too focused. So today, really have to dial in on these setups we have planned for. Wait for them to set up, wait for them to provide entry, and then just go ahead and latch on and let it go. Hopefully have a good Friday today, though. Should be a good day. Should definitely be a good day. Watching to see if this INTS does want to base off the 8-3. Volume starting to come back in over on INTS. Got 20 minutes until open. This is going to be a big one to watch, in my opinion. If we can open up around $9, if we watch for a flush at the open off the 830, can get the pop up back up through the 9s and 10s pretty quick. So I'd almost want to watch this out of the open instead. Because if we can just catch that flush at the open, if we can open around 9, now if we open at 950 or 10, I wouldn't play it that way. But if we can open around this price, catch a flush down to that previous demand area off of like an 8.3, 8.25 for the quick reversal back up through 10. Really, really nice look. I mean, that's almost how I'd want to play this. Unless we can get back over VWAP and pre, then we'd play it then, but I like it a lot. Really similar to, I forget what stock it was that we had the same exact plan on. We were looking for the flush at the open for the quick reversal back up through the highs. It was last week sometime. We had a big win on it. I forget what it was. Completely forget what it was. Had so many trades the last couple of days. I think it was like PXMD or something, or SPRC. I don't know. I forget what the ticker was. But yeah, I definitely watch this out of the open. If it can open strong, look for a quick flush off of the 8-3 for that quick move back up through the 10s. That's at least how I like this today. We've got about 19 minutes. It's INTS off of 3. I'm watching this. Longer consolidates down here at 9, though, the higher chance it has to go ahead and knife down lower. Has MLGO trapped longs yet? Is it knifing yet? No, it's still holding price. Surprised. Got 17 minutes until open. We already have our plans all ready to go. Just a matter of waiting. INTS looks like it has what it takes to curl here back over the nines, but there's just not enough buyers coming in here on it. Not enough buying pressure down here off the eights. ET it over 913, then you've got to worry about that 9.6 to 10.3 area again. Here's the curl back up through 9.2s. I want to watch this for a flush off the 8.3s as well. Curious if it ends up breaking up through VWAP out of the open as well. VWAP getting drugged way down now to 1050. Remember, VWAP is going to act as a limiter of our range on the setup too. Not enough buying pressure down here to really make this move happen on INTS. VRME, pretty much no volume on that name now. We will still want to watch that over the 160 out of open. Roblox, of course, watching still over 41.90, which it's trying to hold into the open. Few minutes to go. And again, adhering to our plans to a T. If none of our plans meet criteria, I won't trade anything, and I'll wrap it up and call it a week. The big thing today, again, be patient, be picky, wait for the setups to come to you, and let's just have an easy Friday. Kind of hoping I can get something decent on Roblox today, but we'll see. We shall see that and Chewy. RBLX still basing over the 41.90. We still have 12 minutes to go until open. Really, we've got a lot of good setups today to look for nice patient entries on, primarily Walgreens, GameStop as far as flushes go, but even Roblox, just wait patiently after the open. If we find some buyers after open, just risk the 41.90, see if we can't get the move up into the next range on the daily, up to the 43 today. Help a lot not to be all scattered around at the open. Definitely a good realization that I made yesterday. Keep in mind, this INTS is a clear sky setup over the 670s. Only thing really limiting your range up here is this past price action from pre-market, and of course you've got that VWAP sitting right overhead at 1040 as well. And the longer it consolidates down here, the tighter that VWAP is going to get, and the less range we're going to have down here. So, if we can get VWAP, honestly, I wouldn't be too angry if we can get VWAP down to like a 9.6, play it up over 10. I mean, that'd be a really, really nice look, risking the 9.7. So that's actually what I would like to have happen here, although I don't think that's going to be what happens. But I would like to happen here. That's a really nice setup. Obviously, it isn't now with VWAP at 1040, 1030. But if we can get it drugged down a bit more, got a pretty nice look. MLGO, though, that's going to trap a bunch of longs at the open. I really don't see that really doing a whole lot more today. Similar to WBUI yesterday, WBUI bounced in pre-market, and what did it do? It actually ended up dumping another 40%. So looking for a similar move over there. INTS starting to flush back down into this zone. And again, wanting it to open at least somewhat strong, then I'm going to look at it for a flush entry off of the 8.3. Me over here. In 9 minutes. 9 minutes and 6 setups. 6 setups planned, ready to go. All I need to do is nail 2 or 3 of these setups, execute to a T, and call it a week. 7 minutes, and Roblox is still holding really, really well over that 41.90. So this is going to be a top watch for me for that dollar move to 43. MBI volume, which I'm really surprised with. The news on this yesterday was simple dividend news, which generally doesn't get much of a move thereafter. This was a clear, not clear sky setup. This had tricky range, I thought. Let's see, 1285. Yeah, you don't really have any way to play this. That's why I left it off the watch list last night. I'm really surprised that it's even finding volume here. 43 mil share float. Yeah, I'm really surprised this is finding any type of buyers up into the open, but I don't see this as being one to really watch today. On MBI, definitely better opportunities out there, even if it is opening strong. There's just looking at the daily, I don't really see a way to play it. I don't really see range. It might have 13.5, might have 14 in the cards, but not really enough range to warrant playing it up here. All right, so initial watch at open is going to be INTS. Looking to see if we can catch it off of a flush. If it does open strong, right after that, I'm going to flip over to Roblox. Okay, so right after INTS, I'm going to flip over to Roblox. See if we can't catch a nice entry over there. But we also got, of course, Chewy, Walgreens. Walgreens and GameStop, those are going to be trades later in the day, most likely. But it should be a good day today. So again, just have to sit back and stay patient, wait for the setups to come to us that we really, really like. And if we find nothing, then we're just not going to trade. Point blank, period. Got to keep it simple. Got to keep it easy. No point overcomplicating it on a Friday. So again, sit back, stay patient, stay picky. What are your plans today? If you see nothing that meets whatever your plans are, do not trade it. Do not change your plans just to make a trade today. You got 4 minutes. INTS really similar to SOAR the other day when we looked for, I think it might have been SOAR we were looking at. We were looking for a halt at the open, and I think that did happen on SOAR. So this is going to be a really similar setup to SOAR where, huge gap up, give back most of its gains, which I know this is still up, what, 100% today? 122% today, so it hasn't given back as much as SOAR did. But I think this can make a really nice move if we can just open strong, catch it off a flush. If it gets soaked off the 8-3, curl back up through the 10s. Finding buyers out of that 8 to 8 zone again. I want to watch and see how strongly this wants to open, possibly an opening pop play. I want to watch it more so off the flush.